Hi friends, it's Allison here, dropping in again to share another scrapbook layout with you. Today's layout is a little bit different. I wanted to use some stamping to embellish my layout today instead of using Cricut die cuts. Don't get me wrong, it is still a Cricut heavy, Cricut inspired layout, but I just wanted to integrate some other things into my layout, dig in my bag of tricks and do something a little different. So I am doing some stamping. I have this stamp set from Close to My Heart. It is Stamp of the Month. I can't remember what month it is. As a consultant, one of the perks is getting to choose stamps of the month before they actually come out. The stamp of the month is only good for 1 month and then it retires. So I'm going to have to double check what month this stamp is. I don't know if it's current or if it's still coming or if it's retired already, but I will let you know. Have a look at the description box down below and that will answer that question for you. I stamped one of the flowers in the set a couple of times, 3 times. I colored it in with the Citrus Yellow Spectrum Noir blend marker, and also the center of the flower is ice blue. But I made a mistake on the flower that I'm working on right now. I colored the rest of the flowers and the leaves off camera, and I forgot which marker I used and ended up using a different one because I had a few pulled out and wasn't really sure what colors I wanted to go with. So you can't really tell, actually. So in the end, it's a happy accident. It doesn't really make a big difference at all. And it still looks good. It still fits the color scheme. So I'm not too terribly worried about it. After all the flowers and the leaves were stamped and colored in, I fussy cut them out. And then I'm going to mat them to die cut circles that I cut with my Cricut. And now you see them there. I did have some other circles, white circles, cut before this point. They had a little like filigree image cut out from it. I didn't really care too much for it. I think it kind of took away from the overall effect, and also so much of it was covered you wouldn't really see much of it anyways. So I just took some scrap white cardstock, traced the circles out, and then just hand cut those out and then mounted them to the mint circles. They're slightly smaller than the mint circles, so there's a little border all the way around them. There are 3, same as the flowers. And the bigger one is bigger and then 2 are smaller. On the bigger one, I decided to add a little bit more stamping. You can see me marking out where I want the stamping to go, just to add a little bit more to the circle and fill it in a bit more, because I felt like there was a little too much white space. The only problem with the little stamp that I'm using now is there is not a reciprocal of the one that I just used, if that makes sense, because I wanted them to end up going the same way. And I know I could have used other stamping techniques to achieve that with mirroring and that sort of thing, but I'm lazy, truth be told, and just wanted to stamp it because I thought that would be easier. But there isn't another stamp that way, so I just rolled with it, and if I hadn't said anything, you probably wouldn't have noticed, so it's all good. On the spur of the moment, I decided to add a little bit of inking to the layout base, and also I inked the white circles that were matted on the mint circles. If I'd been thinking of this earlier, I could have also inked a little arrow that's going to be coming up later on, but I didn't think of it until it was already glued together and it was too late. So that's all right. Moving on. I cut all of these striped borders with my Cricut. I felt inspired to do sort of an ombre effect. I'm actually scraplifting myself, believe it or not. This layout that I'm creating is based on a layout that I made a while ago, maybe like a year ago. And that layout was about one of my daughters. This particular layout is about my husband. And there is the picture of him. He's pulling a goofy face, and that is the reason I am titling my layout, Let's Get Cray. Because he is a little cray-cray, but we love him for it. I wanted this layout to be masculine as well. I'm not very good at masculine layouts. I have daughters, so more often than not, I am scrapbooking them or myself. And 2/3 of our pets are female as well. So the majority of our house is estrogen filled. And I just gravitate naturally to the girly scrapbooking. So I thought this was a treat and a challenge to scrapbook my husband. Now, this is our little secret. My husband doesn't know I scrapbooked this picture of him, and he certainly doesn't know that I'm doing a process video for this layout, so don't tell him. I won't tell him if you don't tell him. The less he knows, the better. He feels really self-conscious about himself, and he doesn't like to appear in my scrapbook albums, but I just kind of think, screw that. He's a part of our family. He deserves to be a part of the albums, and he's going to be, whether he likes it or not. So that is why he is here in this layout. I need to do more. But he's not around very often, so whatever pictures of him I can get is perfect. So I've got the title down. I adhered it with foam squares, and the flowers on the circle mats that they're on are also adhered with foam squares, just for a little depth and dimension. I'm gonna spread those around the page to create my 3 focal points, my little visual triangle. And I also added some tags, additional tags to this layout. You can see the heart, and then there's a little star. I'm working on those right now. I'm adding them to the arrow tag. That's where that's where the date is gonna go. And I really like it because I think those 2 tags layered over top of it is really going to draw some attention to the date as well. With that, my layout is pretty well done. Just ignore my fuzzy little head getting in the corner there. I'm just marking out some lines to write my journaling on. And here we go. More fuzzy head and my journaling. Just kind of basically saying what a crazy guy and fun-loving guy my husband is, and we're so thankful for him. And we're grateful for all the time that we get to spend with him when he is not working. We are an oil family, so my husband is away quite often. And we miss him terribly, but we love him too, and love the time that we get to spend with him. So there we go. I added some stamping, which was a really nice change to this layout. I added some coloring as well. And at this point, I thought my layout was done. Oh, except for the date. And I'm going to be adding the date right now with a Recollections date stamp. I do decide to go ahead and add some black sequins that I had in my stash as well. And I'm going to be doing that right away, as well as a couple phrase stickers from a Tim Holtz phrase sticker book. And with that, my layout is complete. I do have some still shots and close-ups coming up, so feel free to hang around and check those out. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up and a like. I'd really appreciate hearing from you guys and knowing what you thought of this layout. And I really hope that it inspired you as well. Maybe you are like me and you don't create masculine layouts very often, and maybe this was the push you needed to do that. Or maybe you have all boys and you need to create some more girly layouts. Let me know in the comments below. Let me know what you think of this layout and maybe what you didn't. I hope you guys join me again. I really appreciate all the visits to my channel, and I will be back again soon with another layout. Thank you for joining me, and I will see you again very soon. Take care, guys. Bye.